There are numerous other general matters and questions I would like to discuss, if you're okay with it, Mom.
Sure, son. Ask away.
Why can I not, nor anybody else for that matter, speak to the Imam? Why cannot his followers have a question-answer session with him?
The modern era Aga Khans have created such an aura around them that to even suggest this would be considered an act of impudence. They are much too high and mighty and very busy, of course. They have appointed people in leadership who should be able to answer questions from the Jamati members.
I don't think it is good enough, Mom. His followers should be the most important people in his life. Without his followers, he is nothing. He should find the time. It is common knowledge, though, the 49th Imam was available for a one-to-one chat for a fat fee.
There must be tens of thousands of people, and I am one of them who want to ask a question to their Imam. I am aware the last Imam did give one-to-one audiences to some wealthy people who were able and prepared to pay a sizable sum of money for the privilege.
Everything in the end comes down to money. Shouldn't come as a surprise, really. It is a cult after all. So where does one go to for clarification on Ismaili and spiritual matters if one does not have money?
The Waizens have to be the first port of call. They are supposed to be the ones to answer questions on behalf of the Imam.
I wonder if one can rely on them to give truthful answers. I have heard one particular missionary who openly referred to Hazrat Ali as Allah. I know of a person who asked a series of questions to a senior missionary, and the missionary tempered with a word in a verse of the Quran to justify his answer to a question. The questioner pointed out this deliberate misrepresentation to the missionary, who simply refused to enter into any further discussion and walked away.
Good heavens! Did he really temper with the Quran? This would constitute corruption and a sin in the eyes of Allah. But we should not be surprised. Tempering with the wording of the ayats, joining two unrelated verses to create a new reality, is evident in the second part of the dua, and Ismailis recite this daily, 3 times a day without flinching. Reciting a corrupted ayat is nothing but a sin.
One can't have an audience with the Imam unless you have money. Some of his appointed leaders are corrupt. Where is one supposed to go for answers?
I know it is so very frustrating.
Do you think the Imam knows about the dissatisfaction amongst his followers and the inadequacies of his appointed leaders?
He ought to know. He is the leader of this cult after all, and he appoints these leaders. And of course, he does not want to dirty his hands. His leaders do his dirty work, including quoting corrupted verses of the Quran.
I have several questions I would want to ask the Imam if I could. However, the possibility of that ever happening is remote.
What is the one burning question you would want to ask the Imam?
I have several questions, but the one main question I can think of right now is, why do you insist on Baiya from your followers? Baiya, or oath of allegiance in Islam, is only meant to be given to Allah and only to Allah and nobody else. During the time of the Prophet, believers gave their allegiance to the Prophet, which in turn meant giving allegiance to Allah. You are in no such position.
An impossible question for the Imam to answer. That is precisely the reason he will never entertain a question-answer session with his followers. A question like the one you have just posed would bring the whole house of cards and deception tumbling down.
I will one day corner him and make him answer all my questions.
I wish you luck with this. Wouldn't hold my breath, though.
In the meantime, we can continue with our discussions.
Sure we can.